Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Few Who Speak podcast, the first episode and the only podcast in existence. I'm Alex, and we have three guests with us today who will be our usual regulars, I believe. We have Aries,
Hello.
Lilith,
Hi, it's me.
and Tyler.
Hello.
We did it.
We did it. Only
Normal
took 4
intro.
tries.
We succeeded.
That was worse than, when they used to take, back in high school. Any of you remember that?
No.
Oh, God.
When teachers would take roll and you'd have to say here and you'd be preparing the whole time for the teacher to call on you. And he'd be like, yeah, I'm going to say something cool this time. And all you do is say here
Oh,
and
yeah.
then move on.
I knew a lot of kids who were like, they'd go, "Yo," and like that's what they do. And I always thought it was really silly. I don't really understand why people made a big deal out of like that sort of thing with calling roll.
Eventually, I think by senior year, I just went like, I just made like a guttural, like a signifier that I was there, but I didn't say a word, I don't believe.
I think
I
by
wish I
senior
yelled.
year.
I feel like Tyler, I can imagine Tyler just like
I know. I got like really disillusioned with high school by the end of it. So like when they called roll, I just like
Who did?
whooped at them.
I think by my senior year of high school, I didn't have teachers like calling roll. They just kind of tiredly look around the room for an empty seat and then
Yeah.
mark that person absent.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean by the time senior year rolls around, at least it was school like we had. I mean it was a really small class. You just
I was
kind of
gonna say-
everyone.
Especially with our unnamed high school.
mysterious high school of unknowable origin.
Mm-hmm.
Precisely.
So, who are we voting for? What's our
Who do you
religious
think
Oh,
we're
I'm
voting
immediately
for?
going to politics.
What are
Oh,
our
I'm
religious
straight up murder.
beliefs? How do
Harambe
we feel about viruses and just general governments and
I
let's
want to
just
eat
Oh, I'm
a
gonna kill the
let's just
president.
make everyone mad at once.
We're starting a podcast. That's how bored we are.
Yeah, I mean, I want to eat at a restaurant, and I literally can't. It's the worst thing because I love eating out. I really,
Lily, we ate out yesterday.
but we didn't eat out. We like, where did we go?
We went to
yesterday?
McDonald's.
That does not count. That's not count as eating out.
Oh, that counts now.
It counts.
We
The
went through a
luxury.
McDonald's drive-through
Oh,
on the way to a
luxury.
park.
Oh,
And
the
then we sat in the
decadence.
parking lot and ate our food.
Eating out, baby.
Taste.
I mean, like,
God, every time I hear eating out, I just wish I had like a Elgato soundboard to play like a funny like a shock jock DJ, just
Yum.
like sound effect.
a crunch sound effect.
We're not radio hosts. We're
could
not
be.
like.
Could be
I,
if we try hard
I looked
enough.
around to see. I looked around to see if I could Foley a noise, and all I have is a glass bottle, so I can make a crunch sound effect if it's really required of us.
I can only I can only make like I can make like a like a
Hold on,
like,
hold
like
on.
just
You have
like a
bottle.
There.
crunchy.
Oh,
I think we should mute that in post.
Ow, I hurt my hand.
God.
Since
I
I'm
should
my
be
own
careful.
audio, I can definitely just like mine can be edited, but yours can't. So I can do shit like like just do like horrible crunching. Oh, you're gonna hear the residual of that plastic.
700
You're gonna hear
times
the
a
residual of that plastic unfurling.
Not an ASMR podcast.
Welcome to the anti ASMR podcast, where we make your life a
play
living
shit
hell for
that you-
1 whole hour.
Wait, hold on, give me a
It's the
second.
sound
I
of
can come up
teeth
with what
clacking.
the ASMR is.
So
That sound when you
Let's-
close your jaw really hard. That's anti.
So how addicted are we all to Animal
Tomorrow.
Crossing New Horizons?
I actually haven't played.
I also
Wait,
haven't
I can-
played in several days.
I made $1 million.
let me pull up the Switch right now.
I made $1 million yesterday on turnips, and now I'm back in.
Wait, if I'm not allowed to play Pokemon, you can't play Animal Crossing while we're recording.
You cannot play
You
Animal
cannot.
Crossing.
Tyler, put this. Tyler, if you picked up the Switch, I'm gonna ground
I'm
you.
looking at my hours. I have 125.
Jesus
What?
Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ. Well, you were on literally all day yesterday, just sitting in a chair with your gates open, doing nothing. So I feel like that added. I feel like that.
That doesn't count.
I feel like that
He was
did
doing
something.
what?
Yikes.
He did. He just had his gates open and he was just sitting on a bench. And then when someone came over, he'd greet them and then he'd go sit back down on the bench. And so, because I
I was
believe,
sitting over.
I believe when you're sitting and doing nothing, it doesn't count you as idle. So it doesn't boot you, right? Like, because if you stay idle too
I
long,
think so.
it closes the gates if you're too idle
Yeah.
for too long.
Yeah.
So that's the way to keep it open.
Huh.
I saw someone doing like I've been seeing people with turnip spikes, like being like, you can come to my island. I'll give you the code if you give me like 50 real life cents. Like if you give me like $1, if you microtransaction,
PayPal
I will.
$50.
If you Venmo me a couple cents,
Subscribe
I
to my OnlyFans.
subscribe
for
to my
turnip prices.
OnlyFans, and I will give you turnip prices. A luck-based value that changes every week.
Like $15 a month.
Jesus.
I
Lord.
mean, that's enough for like a Starbucks, depending on where you live.
But
Yeah,
the,
that's
but
like
the fake virtual animal currency, though.
I mean, what's it? Like, I feel like at this point, like if I was to get back on Tinder, which I won't because it's Tinder, but if I were
We're
to
in
get
a
back,
pandemic.
if I were to get back on Tinder, I'd like match with someone. They'd be like turnip prices, and I'd be like, no.
Yeah, if like the first question
That's
now
how
is
you
like
start.
the first question: do you have a Switch?
Turnip prices.
There's a flow chart. Do you have a Switch? Yes, no. If yes, continue. Do you have Animal Crossing New Horizons? Yes, no. If yes, what's the turnip prices today? And if it's below 150, ignore.
Not interested.
Blocked,
Fail.
blocked,
Get out of there.
banned, never see you again. Sorry.
Well, see, like the easy way of getting rid of that first question is just being like, only match with me if you
Yeah,
have
that's
Animal
true.
Crossing.
Yeah, yeah. You can skip the two of the flowcharts if you put it in your bio.
Exactly.
Oh, you're gonna hear some chair noises, but luckily I'm on my own recording, so you can mute this shit. Oh.
Oh, great.
You
I know
acknowledge-
for me, I don't give a single fuck. Are we swearing on this podcast?
Oh,
I guess
fuck yeah.
Sure, who
dude.
cares?
Sure.
I feel like this is one of the rules we should have gone over.
We don't need to
before.
worry about it until after.
We're gonna
we
get
to, like,
demonetized. But
We don't
God
have
is
that.
doesn't.
It's
Smite
far
us
enough
for
into the
having
it
recording.
doesn't.
I can say
It
fuck.
doesn't matter because you like. I feel like
Don't say it like that.
Like it doesn't because YouTube is pretty it's pretty messy right now, huh? It's pretty
I
It's
mean, I've
pretty
seen a lot
dirty.
of people's content. I've seen a lot of people's like view counts like drop in the.
yeah.
We could have Moke just replace all the curses with like dog sound effects.
Or like
I was
clown honk.
thinking
Or with
clown
like
noises.
the gnome
Or clown noises.
clown,
Yeah,
like
that's
like
better.
like a honk.
Honka honka.
Exactly.
Or like
That's
I
the
was thinking
trademark.
like the gnome, like the you got gnomed gnome that goes yeah.
Right. Of course.
The gnome,
Anyway.
or like a
Not-
Donkey Kong Country like stomped on a Kremling. Like that sound is pretty good.
That is a good one.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I don't give a single fuck about turnip prices.
Yeah, you're
I
you're a
just- I
fool.
don't- I
Early
don't care. I
It's
will
the
go
only time
and
money
spend
matters.
8 hours on a Tarantula Island before I decide how much a turnip is worth to me.
But you get to talk to Daisy May, and then if you buy enough, she says, "Thank you. Grandma gave me some bamboo shoots and mails them to you." How could
You
you
mailed
say
me
no?
bamboo shoots.
I did. I'm your Daisy May, I guess.
Is there a point to bamboo shoots besides
Pretty,
like?
Bamboo.
Crafting.
pretty and crafting material. Yeah. The shoots.
There's no way to get
you
more
can eat 'em.
natural.
When you plant a bamboo shoot, when it fully grows,
I
it
believe
leaves
there's
another
bamboo
bamboo
islands.
shoot.
Oh.
So if you say you have 3 bamboo shoots and you plant all 3, when they're fully mature, they'll leave behind 3 bamboo shoots. You never get a surplus. So if you fully run out of bamboo shoots to plant, you're fucked.
I see. That's weird.
It is, but also I'd never find myself chopping down bamboo trees or stalks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Are they? I think they're called trees.
I think
I think they are called
I think
trees.
they are called trees, but you know.
Hold on.
We're
Oh.
Googling.
Gotta Google this
Siri?
real quick.
Siri, this is important.
No, my phone might hear
And
you.
I was gonna say, hold
Tyler,
on,
put your phone.
don't do things
Tyler,
like
put your-
yell Alexa
on
in our podcast.
Xbox off.
Hey Siri,
Xbox, turn off.
where do bamboo come from?
That's not. That wasn't the question,
Here's one
Tyler.
fact
That's
from
the question at
Wikipedia.org.
all.
Most bamboo species are native to warm and moist tropical.
Why is your
Okay,
Siri
thank
You got a.
Australian?
You got a
Why
news.
is your-
You got a kiwi.
Handsome boy.
You got a kiwi Siri. What the fuck, dude?
No, Australian.
Oh shit!
Kiwis
I was
are
right,
New
fuck
Zealand,
you.
stupid.
I thought it was a New Zealand accent. I know the difference, kind of, a little bit.
Do you?
They put a little. They
Don't.
put a little more in their e's than the Australian
Yeah, that
accent.
sounded way more crikey Australian than fucking New Zealand.
I only heard a little bit. All
Oh,
right.
hello.
A lot of the Siri thing that Tyler put up to the microphone was very it was cut off by laughter and shot.
No, it was all of us were too shocked
cut
by
it- I cut it
Australian
off anyway.
Siri.
You yeah, Tyler interrupted his Siri like an animal. Rude. You asked the question. I don't know why you gotta be like that. So you guys like Dungeons
Okay,
and Dragons?
bamboos are a group of woody
What's the-
Perennial.
perennial.
perennial evergreen plants in the true grass family.
Huh.
So neither.
Well, now we can
It's
tag ourselves as
fucking grass.
educational. Get
In
that
appearance
get that audience.
and specification, they are called bamboo trees.
Excellent. Excellent.
So
excellent,
there you go.
excellent. We all learned something. Whether you like it or not, you will learn.
This is an educational podcast.
So how about
That's
other things that have our interest? You all are having a lot of time to think about that right now as I fill this dead air very quick, very like for a long time. I'm just just kind of letting a stream of consciousness flow out as we all think of a topic.
Alex, let us answer the fucking question.
What was the question? Answer my question. What?
What was the question, or do you want me to answer it?
My question was more of a begging for more topics.
Oh.
I've been playing. I recently bought Breath of the Wild for myself,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I also bought 3 Houses for myself. But Lily has been playing way more 3 Houses than
I'm on the
any other video game.
I'm on my second playthrough already.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
That's really fast.
Any of you 3 Houses fans, get ready to get political in anime.
I fucking don't understand. So I played through what is apparently the most like
Egregious.
egregious part of the route in the game, which is the Black Eagles arc, because the entire point is that they kind of go apeshit and take over the world, but like they're the good guys.
Go stupid, go crazy route.
Kind of. But like apparently there's like a large group of people on Twitter who heavily stan the main character of that arc, Edelgard. And they're like, if you don't support the Black Eagles, like you're a fascist, blah blah blah, you're a bad person.
Oh shit!
If you like the Golden Deer, you're a centrist bastard. And I'm like, what the
Mark.
fuck?
Is that
are
the
you
one with
talking-
the big butt, or am I thinking of somebody else?
What are you? No, that's the priest.
Oh yeah, the titty woman.
That's the priest.
Yeah.
Edelgard is a different person.
Okay.
But, like I just ultimately I don't understand why people.
Fuck Fire Emblem. It's so complicated.
I don't know why people make it out to be like some kind of mirror of like real world American politics.
Yeah,
It's
like they're like
the
like
stories about
it's
just-
an
it's-
evil dragon god.
It's just a turn-based like strategy game like XCOM but with anime. So like everyone that's big anime stans are losing their minds, but it's just a strategy game with some lore. Relax,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, it's horrible because like Gray is knee deep in the community and has to deal with that shit all the time.
Gray
It's just
being
like-
another
Yeah.
person belonging to this channel and this network. Subtitles.
Hopefully, we'll.
You did name someone. You broke
In the network.
broke the cardinal rule. Now you go to podcast.
He's in the
hell.
network.
He's in the network.
It's true, but
Yeah, we agreed it was
but you
in the
didn't-
network.
But you didn't explain.
Alex,
But you didn't explain who it was. You just said
You-
a name.
you-
Fine.
You did not
Gray,
explain.
one of our artists
I
in the
hope-
network.
Gray, please listen to this podcast and be very confused. Please be
I
very
will-
confused.
Oh yeah, because we're gonna cut out that whole beginning bit.
We
which is
don't-
just
yeah,
gonna mean that
yeah,
we're screaming
yeah.
at each other for
Yeah,
no reason.
our 3 commandments.
We're gonna cut this too.
No,
Right, of
no,
course.
this stays in.
The
gonna-
duality. of
we're
podcast.
going to play the editing very fast and loose, and there's just gonna be shit like we're gonna like
Two
we're just gonna
times
randomly
speed on
cut we're just gonna cut 10 minutes out with for no reason, and then just like and then
At random.
and then
like a roulette.
yeah, and then like 10 minutes later into the podcast, we refer back to the bit we cut out.
Well, yeah, we're
course.
obviously the entire podcast, the entire hour that we've dedicated now to recording, is
Yeah.
just going to be making sure that we're referencing what we've already recorded.
We actually we chop up the podcast into 10-minute segments and then reverse the order, so we start like wrapping up the show as the intro like fades out, and then by the time we get to the end of the podcast, it's like welcome, and then it just cuts as the intro starts. So then if you
It will
so
be
then
the
if you
three
if
not
you
even
podcasts
natural.
that end
if you
this
right
podcast.
click the YouTube video and click loop, it will organically loop until, so we only need to make actually one episode ever, and it just plays forever. That's it. It's called The Only Podcast, and we mean it.
Listen, we're already self-referencing. We're going downhill already. You know,
This is
our
the peak.
subscribers.
This
are
is
just
the
like,
peak,
they're
the plateau,
fine.
and the descent all at the same time.
All 5 of our subscribers, which is not even our entire network. Not even all of us who work
We're
here
missing
have
someone. We're
subscribed.
missing someone. I didn't realize
I think
that.
we're missing Gray.
Yeah.
One of our artists
Gray,
is
if you're
already
listening to this and you
dedicated
haven't
to
subscribed
podcast.
already, I'm gonna be real mad if you
Please
found this
subscribe.
video. Please, please. We need the clout. Please.
We're
We
trying
only
so
need
hard.
1,000 before we can start making a penny an episode.
Oh fuck.
We do also have to have 4,000 watch hours. Keep that in mind.
Well, again,
Don't worry,
I'll
that's
just
why-
put it on
that's
Twitter.
what. That's why we make this one loopable, fellas. That's why we get the 1,000 hours from one
Listen,
video. YouTube, the
I
algorithm's
funded-
gonna be so happy with us.
I funded everyone that's ever posted an episode of Mystery Science Theater is funded by me. I can fund our watch hours. Don't worry.
Of course,
So
of course.
you just feed your own money back in at a loss because YouTube probably
thought
takes
you-
something out of that somewhere.
I thought you said you hated listening to yourself.
No, I'll put it on while I sleep, so I don't have to, like I do with Mystery
Oh.
Science
So
Theater.
it's just so this eternal episode that loops over and over will just be like a subconscious trigger that like turns you into like a sleeper drone.
Yes, actually, if you listen to our podcast while you sleep, we are making sure that somewhere in here is a sleeper.
Berry gold.
Or if we wake you
like-
up.
It like 20 minutes in, we have like a small short like segment where somebody's quickly whispering like something like
Yeah.
go outside.
And then at the very
Boom!
end,
Then
at
we
the very
transfer
end-
gender.
At the very end, there's just a very like a shrill like a to wake you up.
And then we wake up.
It's
we
both
transgender.
it's both subconscious like implanting like horrible like ideas and plots, but also it also won't let you sleep either. Like it's
Well-
it's implanting subconscious things in your brain, but you just you're like, we also won't let you get to REM. So it's just going to be a nightmare.
I would suggest putting like the Sinistar scream at the end of the clip.
Oh, that's pretty. That's a pretty good one.
The classic one.
Oh,
It's like one of
Sinistar.
the first. I smell you, or I forget how he sounds.
Wow, he does say,
He's
"I
he's
smell
like,
you." Actually, it's pretty fucked up.
Hold on, let me see what Sin is. It's like Sinistar quotes.
Sinistar's a bit
Well,
of
she's
a
doing
freak.
that. No, but I've been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild because that game came out in 2017, and I
Sure,
bought it
okay.
last week.
It's pretty good. It's like a good
Oh,
video
yeah.
game or
Still
something.
good.
What are you talking about?
Breath of the Wild.
I've been playing
Oh.
Breath of the Wild nonstop for the last week.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Anyway, I looked up a Sinistar quote.
One, gimme.
Are you guys ready?
Gimme.
Are you guys ready
Oh.
for this?
Gimme.
Jordan, make sure to cut this part out.
I am Sinistar. There you go. That's a quote
Oh,
from Sinistar.
damn. Fuck.
Wow.
There he is, Sinistar.
So original.
Run.
He does
Coward.
say run coward, which is probably a great thing. I like that a lot.
Sinistar is
More
really
video
good.
game villains need to just say run coward. I really enjoy that
Honest.
confidence.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who knows about Sinistar.
Oh yeah. Me and Tyler watched like a video from like I think Polygon where they were reviewing monsters that chase you through video
Oh,
games.
yeah.
Oh, that one just came out.
Yeah, we watched that, and his first one he brought up was Sinistar, and I was like, "Ah, yeah, that dude."
Fucking.
I know that dude
Like-
from I think I know him from like an I Want to Be the Guy fan game. Maybe he was in the original I Want to Be the Guy. I don't remember.
I don't think that he would be in the original I Want to Be the Guy. That's a bit old for the reference points. I Want to Be the Guy draw.
Now hold on.
Sinistar's
There's
like,
some deep fucking cuts that I Want to Be the Guy gets into. That are
I
like,
love how this is really gonna
Yeah.
reach our obscure fandom listeners.
Well, it's like how
really-
old do the references in I Want to Be the Guy really go back to?
Like,
I think it's like all
there's,
the
like-
NES games.
there's some NES. Maybe. I'd have to go Google stuff, and I don't want to go type on my clicky clacky keyboard while recording because it's nasty
'Cause, like,
sounding.
Sinistar was one of the first arcade games made by like Midway.
Mm.
Who, if I don't know if you know that Midway ended up doing after like that point in their career. Newsflash, it's Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
Like Midway was a really interesting. They did arcade games for a while, made Mortal Kombat, and then stopped making anything else.
That's
Oh,
the
excuse me, I
end.
meant to mute
Sounds
my
like
mic.
Whitney.
The back to Breath of the Wild. I'm replaying that game. Well, I was, and then Breath of the Wild. Or I screwed up. I said the word
Animal
wrong.
Crossing.
Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, so I completely stopped playing any other Nintendo Switch game. I was switching between Breath of the Wild and doing the Celeste B and C sides. And like I vowed this Breath of the Wild playthrough to 100% the video game. And I'm currently at like 200 Koroks. And I have done one
Oh,
of the
nice.
I've done one of the dungeons.
I'm at 5.
There's 900 Koroks in this video game, fellas.
Is it
They
900?
do that.
It's 900 flat. I looked up.
Okay.
I think the completionist, when he 100% Breath of the Wild, he was like I told Miyamoto I'd do it. Like he or Reggie maybe asked him. I don't remember.
He told one of the head guys.
Yeah, one of them asked Gerard, like, "Hey, could you get all the Koroks?" And he said, "All right," and then he did.
I remember that I watched that video when I was still watching Completionist when I was like in high school.
Mhm.
He was so tired.
Like it reminded me of when he like way back
Played a
when
lot
he
of
did.
games.
It reminded me back when he played 100% of Dark Souls 1. That game takes like 3 New Game Plus playthroughs to get like everything. You have to play that game 3 times, and each time it just gets harder. It's
I love
great.
it. That's like trying to 100% Hollow Knight too.
That yeah, absolutely.
Ugh.
It becomes a
I
bit
mean,
of a
I
grind
might
at the end.
eventually, but I don't know. So far, all of the seeds that I've found has been on accident because there'll be like a lot of them are little lights that you have to chase around and grab.
Those are always fun.
And most of those have just been I've been trying to get to one destination and I'd immediately get distracted, and then I'd get distracted because ooh, shiny light.
It's your hunter gatherer brain.
Breath of the Wild is like once you got a Switch Lite and you got Animal Crossing, I was like, my next recommendation for you would have been Breath of the Wild's like the perfect game for you, because like the game like
that's what Greg was saying.
the game's like main game content is like pretty minimum. 90% of that game is you're like, I'm gonna go from point A to point B, and that takes 6 hours. Because every time you get on
honestly, I love
every
it.
time you get on your horse, you just go, what the fuck is that? And you get off your horse.
I know the amount of times where I'm like, oh shit, I should call my horse. And I look at my map and it's like, your horse is on the other side of the fucking continent, man. I'm like, damn, now I have to find a stable to get my horse back so I can immediately leave it another 5 feet.
You want a fucking pro gamer tip? Like,
So,
there's a somewhere in the world. There's a. Did you get the DLC with Breath of the Wild?
no, because I didn't
Never
have enough money to get
mind.
that
Isn't
and
it
3
free
houses.
Never mind. One
There's
of
two
the
DLCs.
Motorcycle.
the DLCs you have to buy them together in a pack. One of the DLCs is
It's
a
another
story
like
one.
$20.
Yeah, but
Wow.
you get both. One of them is like a story one that adds like some more shrines and like a final dungeon to do, and it gives you a motorcycle. And then the second thing is like the other DLC that's like content. There's some special horse armor that they sprinkle around the world for you to find, and it lets you teleport your horse to you like it's Skyrim. So as long as you just like so if you just like, so when you whistle, the horse just goes and materializes in front of you. So that's very good.
That sounds like more trouble than benefit to me.
It's definitely worth it because of how much you get off your horse, and then you're like, well, I've walked 10 steps away and the whistle doesn't work now.
Well,
Yeah,
so-
to be fair, there's a lot of times where like you'll want your horse because you're on a path, but you're on like the other side of a mountain from your horse. Or the worst thing is if you cross any body of water. It can be really shallow water, your horse won't cross it.
Yep.
Well, so the reason why I say that is because to me, the whistle is something I fat finger more than I do on purpose.
That's true.
I don't know, because I didn't.
It's not that big of a deal if
I
you
didn't-
accidentally
don't use
teleport
the
your horse to you, because your horse just goes, and just stands there absentmindedly if you accidentally whistle for it.
Well, because I frequently whistle when I'm doing things like fighting
so
wild
it's just like
animals.
following you. It's just
No,
because
no,
you're constantly whistling.
I like accidentally whistle a lot when I'm like fighting like lionels.
Mm.
Okay. Have you started Breath of the Zelda?
Breath of the Zelda? No, I haven't installed it on my Switch because 3 Houses is huge.
Oh yeah, we needed to go get SD cards.
Yeah, when I got my Switch and realized how small it was, I was like, fuck. And I went on Amazon and got like the 32 gigabyte like SD card.
That's not even that much.
It's enough.
Yeah,
it's enough for a Switch.
Yeah, I got 64.
It's I might have gotten 64. There's like Nintendo brand ones, and I got the highest one on Amazon, whatever that was.
I just took the 64 one out of my phone and put it on my Switch because I really, really fucking wanted to play Zelda.
It's really good. It's a good game.
You didn't want to uninstall anything?
I hadn't had anything installed because I have a Switch Lite, so
Does it really not have that much storage?
I don't know if it has less storage space. I just tried to install things and it's all like, fuck you, bitch. So.
So, how's it going?
But yeah, there's a lot of times when I'm playing Breath of the Wild that I'll be doing something and then immediately after there's a tutorial. Why do you even do tutorials? The game's organic enough that I think the tutorials help if you like manage to miss an entire mechanic, like I did with the fact that B button cancels your if you're pulling back if you're drawing your bow.
A lot of video games have that. Like Fire Emblem has the same problem where it's like sometimes it'll like throw you into the water like without just no floaties, no anything. It just drops you in there. Like with most of its combat mechanics, the triangle system works. Then it'll be like, all right, you can't do anything until like the 5th free day you have in the monastery. Like you can't have a tea party with someone now, and it's like, but this is New Game Plus, and you're withholding things from me again.
Nintendo has this problem a lot because they make their video games for children, so it makes sense for them to do this. But they also have this problem where they don't just have an option that says, "I don't want this anymore. I'm a big boy. I'm grown up. I could play the video game." And the Nintendo's like, "No, no, no. Don't shake the baby."
No, so interestingly enough, because I've been playing Pokemon Sword as well, Pokemon Sword actually lets you opt out of a lot of the tutorials if you just say, I already know this. Like when it started going over your Pokedex when it's first handed to you by the professor's granddaughter, you could, when she goes like, do you know anything about your Pokedex? You just go, yeah, I know all about it. Skip that entire tutorial.
That's very good.
Fire Emblem has dialogue like that, but it doesn't skip the tutorial if you say you already know.
Yeah, unfortunately
That's
in
weird.
Pokemon you still do have to learn how to throw.
Still
it
have to
holds your
learn
hand
the
quite a
Pokeball.
It
Like,
still
no!
has to hold your hand. Because
Like, you let me skip the fucking Pokedex, which is, if a kid's playing, not gonna give a shit about the Pokedex. Listen,
No.
when I first started playing Pokemon, I didn't care about the Pokedex. I was 8.
I just like to click the buttons and make the Squirtle scream.
I only
That
know
explains a lot about how you take care of.
just
I would like to.
just poke just like smash the shell of the turtle so it's like it just shoots the water out. Just
I was
shoot
gonna
the
say,
water.
specifically, I'm going to oust Lily right away, and we will often at my house will foster baby animals over the summer because that's when a lot of them are orphaned and stuff, and you take them in, they're really cute, and then you give them back after they're done being babies.
Mm-hmm.
So with my cat Aziraphale, who's the youngest, he's going to be a year old in a month. When he was a baby, he was so small you could hold him in one hand.
No.
Completely.
I know what you're telling so much
Of
stories.
course you know what I'm telling. So Lily's favorite thing to do with my sweet, darling little son was, if he was being particularly loud and that he would beep if he was hungry or needed attention, she would straight up just put him in her mouth.
Silenced.
It got it.
Well, I know. I'm brewing up ideas. I'm brewing up ideas for episode
doesn't mean
titles
it's
right
good.
now.
Lily swallows the cat.
Specifically, I would like open my mouth as wide as possible and just stick his little head in there. I wouldn't close my mouth. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Like, pop him in your cheek like a jawbreaker from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Exactly like that.
No, I just thought it was funny.
He was always like so annoyed because he'd beep because he was a baby, and my mom wanted to name him Harrison Ford. I think that was part of it.
He didn't like that name.
He didn't like that name, but he'd sit at the bottom of the stairs. He wasn't allowed on the stairs because he was 2 inches tall, but he'd go down the stairs and he couldn't get back up, and he'd beep. And Lily would go over and go, "What are you yelling about?" Pick him up and shove him in her mouth.
I do it still too. If there was a kitten in the house, I probably would still do that because I think it's so funny.
It is pretty fucking funny, dude.
If we foster cats this June,
It's
you're not allowed
fucking
near
funny,
them.
dude.
Oh, come on!
You're going to give our cats some sort of fetish. Whether it's a gigantus or a vor fetish, I don't know.
Or just a horrifying fear.
He's not afraid of me. I bet if I tried to stick his face in my mouth, he'd kill me.
Probably knowing Aziraphale now. Though, on a similar topic, I used to raise ducks because I used to be a farmhand when I was in high school. And one of my tasks was I had to take care of the various birds, which were the geese, the ducks, the chickens, I think that was it, and the goats. Mm-hmm. Goats aren't poultry, but I had to take care of them.
Glad you clarified.
Listen, they get out of things as much as birds. So there was like the baby ducklings I was taking care of. One of them liked to climb in people's mouths, which baby ducks are prone to do. Warm and it's moist and birds are just weird. So when this duck grew up, there was times where like I'd pick the duck up to move it. Immediately, this full-grown duck, like one of the really, really big ones, not those tiny little ducks, but like the big ones that are almost geese, would go and shove its fucking fists down my throat. You're gonna grow up. You're gonna raise.
They're just like that.
You're gonna raise one of these cats. We're going to go give him back to the shelter that we work with, and they're going to get a complaint back on one of these cats. That's just, I don't fucking know. He keeps shoving his head in my mouth.
It's a friend.
Why is he
raising
doing it? I don't know
these
what I'm supposed to do.
Raising psycho cats, dude.
That might explain a lot of how Aziraphale is.
You know what? Looking back on it, you are the reason my cat has every problem that he has.
Oh, of
Every
course.
Every time you complain about him from now on, I'm just going to remind you. Remember how you used to bore my son?
Oh. Just hear a distant
I mean,
voice.
like, I didn't give him every problem he has. Your mom is the reason why he freaks the fuck out around food all the time.
He's a cat.
They do just kind of do that.
She taught him that it was okay to, like, dig through shit and eat it.
He doesn't do it as much as he used to when he was a baby.
That's because we don't have anything he can dig through anymore.
He doesn't, like, get into the cat food bag, which is just on the floor.
He likes choice cuts of meat, like lamb. Or
Yeah, so does Barbie.
roast beef.
In the trash?
Are you telling me if there's a fine cut of lamb, she wouldn't eat it?
To be fair, he
Yeah,
could have
you
been
got a
Bayonet.
point.
He could have been Bayonet, who was the worst food, like, whore.
Oh, absolutely. But we only had Bayonet for a month.
That's
said
a
I
good
couldn't
name
do-
for a cat and a good description of a cat. Man, the only like pet issues that I have ever had, way back when I was a little kid, my family had 2 dogs. We had what's it called? We had Sparky and Bear. And Bear was just an angry creature. Just a tiny lap dog that just hated everyone but my dad. And then Sparky was like a cool corgi, like Pomeranian mix. And the what's it called? They were fine until their time had gone, and they just chilled, except for Bear, who was just a ball of angry. Then we moved on to several other hyper lap dogs that did not like being here, so they were given to other people. And now we got Silver, a Chihuahua, and all she does is look like she's done something wrong, no matter what she's done, and bark at air outside constantly. She just that's a warning for all recordings that I ever do. Is there is like a 40% chance that someone walks outside my street and my dog doesn't be quiet for like 6 hours.
I think,
Short kings stay yelling.
to be fair, we have a cat because Lily and I live together.
Mm-hmm.
We have a cat that, to put it nicely, she's loud.
A little.
A little
Mhm.
bit.
I mean, you know, she will like be upstairs playing a video game, and then we'll just hear down the stairs in the kitchen. We'll just hear, "Meow, meow."
Sounds so sad all the time. To be fair, there's my cat and then there's cat. Both of them are guilty of this crime.
Lily's impressions sound like a voice actor for like the Tom and Jerry cartoons. Like doing like trying to do animal noises.
I cannot stress to you enough that that's exactly how these cats sound if they think that they are alone in the house.
It's very good. Man, it really is easy to just go topic to topic in a podcast, huh? We started with like video games, like Animal Crossing, and now we've gone into like
Started
our
with the
animals.
We started out with how
Yes,
hard it was to
Tyler,
answer roll call.
we did start with the intro, but I've decided to not think about that anymore. I've decided to blank
Wow,
that part.
this intro thing isn't as easy as I.
And you want to hear something topical?
Oh yes, please.
Lilo
Shit.
Stitch is an abusive child.
Oh my god, we're not doing this. My
call
child
her
cries,
Lilith.
and therefore she's gaslighting me.
I love that people have now, since the quarantines happened, people have run out of things to have hot takes over, like new pieces of media. So now the last thing was Animal Crossing before the quarantine got real bad. That was like the last
yeah.
new thing. So people were just like you people are abusing the animals and you people are monsters, and people are like, this is my outdoor spa that I built with these pieces of furniture. Please don't recreate this on
is
your
my
island.
intellectual property.
So now that they've run out, now that they've given up with that, and now it's just people being horny over the Cleopatra cat. Now it's and the new twink cat.
That's been going on for years.
That's classic, but they just had to wait a while to bring it back for all the artists to draw more art. So now the new thing is like going back. Now they have to dig up old media and like it's unproblematic and just be like, find a problem with it. Like,
hold on, I'm going to use my phone.
Abusive.
It's horrible because isn't that woman like an animator?
Yeah,
she works. She's an animator. Hold on, I'm going to go on Instagram and see.
Finding the details.
I wonder if she's
we only hire the finest employees.
No, they don't. Don't fucking lie.
Don't fucking
They do have.
lie.
There is an
Don't
animator.
fucking lie.
There is an animator who I follow on Twitter that works at Disney. She works on like Big City Greens or something. But she's a trans comic artist I followed, who has like, what was it called? I think her. She released a book recently, and it was like a the title was a pun on puberty, but like she's the only person who I know that's an animator, not weird or horrible.
I just thought of a good idea for a podcast for another day, and it's let's just pick a piece of media that no one really cares for, and then just talk about it like we've watched it, but we haven't. Like, let's just review Big Mouth without looking at it. Because if I looked at Big Mouth directly, like a full 20-minute episode, I feel like my eyes would go concave.
Isn't Big Mouth off of Netflix?
Yeah.
No, it's still on there.
Oh, I thought you meant off like
Still
it's
on
from.
there. Still has more seasons coming, I think.
Yeah, there's still.
I remember when Big Mouth first came out. I had been recommended by my uncle who was living with me at the time. He's like, Big Mouth's great. It has such an interesting take on things like puberty. So I booted it up and I watched the first 10 minutes of the episode. Immediately got an eyeful of little boy penis. Exited out.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm so surprised that of all the discourse that happens, that's not any of it comes up with the fact that these are child characters.
Yeah,
I think
miss good Netflix shows.
I think part of the problem with stuff like Big Mouth is that it's about
Son of a bitch.
puberty, but it's just gross. It's not
Tyler, what
about
was that,
puberty.
Tyler,
it's
what was that
gross.
swear for? Huh?
Yeah, what did you swear for, Tyler?
What was that about? What'd you do?
Are you
Stub your
doing something you're
toe?
not supposed to?
Did you look at Twitter? Huh?
Are you playing video games?
Oh, the silence is deafening. Guilty.
Oh, he's typing. He's typing something.
Oh, he's typing.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
it was technical difficulties. I thought you were looking at Twitter and saw a post that made you angry, or that you were playing a video game and you lost. So you were outed for being distracted. Before. Yeah, you just said the last thing we heard was just "son of a bitch," and then you just went dark.
Because I was lagging out. Because I was lagging out because I said I miss good Netflix shows, and then nobody talked, and I went, son of a bitch.
Yeah,
there are good Netflix shows.
Yeah, we heard that, and then
there's good Netflix shows.
We heard you say that, and then Lilith started talking, and in the middle of Lilith's sentence, just son of a bitch. At first I thought you were still thinking about missing good Netflix shows. It was just really messing with your head. But yeah, there's some, there's some good stuff. Dark is really good on Netflix. That's a very good show. It's a German show about
Miss
time
American
stuff.
Vandal, which got canceled.
Oh, interesting. I know there was. If you guys like cooking shows, unfortunately, it's not getting a second season. But the Strange Creations of Christine McConnell is very good.
That is very good. Oh, by the way, we're not. Keep that in mind.
You cut out. You just said we're not, and then just there was silence.
We have.
We're not sponsored.
Yeah, we're not sponsored. What?
Yeah.
Does Netflix sponsor things?
Can you imagine if in episode 1, MeUndies has already sent an email? We haven't even uploaded a video, and Netflix, like MeUndies and like Blue Apron and like DoorDash have all emailed us all at the exact same time. Like, please.
We are looking for sponsors, though.
We'll take them.
We get sponsored by Lootbox.
Obviously.
Yeah. Hey. So here's Lootbox. Yeah. In case you haven't heard about this new revelation in loot box technology,
I want to have I want to have a sponsored segment, but we sponsor products that don't exist anymore. Like I was gonna say Hydrox cookies, but
Crystal.
I think Hydrox cookies still exist, even if they're beaten out by Oreos now. But I was gonna say like 1940s like detergents. Like things that don't exist anymore and are probably made of like asbestos and nicotine and glued together with lead. We'll just like go get some of that and then we just warp the audio just to be really distorted to where you can get the products. Very good.
I'm back on the topic of Netflix shows though. The Dragon Prince is really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anytime we get to Netflix, that's the show that's recommended.
It's good. Like
it is good. It's written by Avatar: The Last Airbender writer.
Yeah.
And Sokka plays Callum. That's his character. They have the same voice actor.
Make a boomerang joke once.
Just once. It doesn't go anywhere.
Just a single time.
They just have him say boomerang in a scene.
He stares at it for like at least 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, it's like an entire moment in the scene where he just stares at it. They're in the middle of like a rescue mission, and he's just staring at it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got too many video games.
What other good Netflix shows are there?
Good Netflix shows. I was watching. I watched
Mystery Science Theater.
Mystery Science Theater is very good. It's not Netflix original, but it is good.
They have a Netflix original.
I watched an anime. It's not on Netflix, but I watched an anime on Hulu called like Id Invaded, and it was very good. It was just like
it's on Hulu.
It's like a sci-fi drama. It's very like a murder mystery. It was very good and very well done. Mm-hmm. Felt like it was like watching Psychopath. Speaking of which, that's on Netflix. That's a good anime.
Mm-hmm. Psychopath is on Netflix. I can't watch that.
It's always been on unless they took it off.
Obviously, my favorite anime that's on Netflix is Red vs. Blue.
That's a pretty good anime.
That's a pretty good anime.
Yeah, that is. Yep.
I don't watch
Thank you and good night.
Rooster Teeth,
but
if
on a
you
side
want
note,
to give us a partnership, just give us a call and we'll be there.
Rooster Teeth,
who's the current CEO?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know literally nothing about Rooster Teeth besides the two funny boys that get things off of Amazon or not Amazon, but things for $5 and then gift review them.
Hey, Mr. Rooster Teeth. I'm Lilith,
John Rooster Teeth.
John Rooster Teeth.
Hey, John Rooster Teeth.
I'm Lilith, the project manager of TheFableFew. I just little few hours north of Austin, Texas. If you want to come by and we'll take us in, we'd like to buy a gamer house.
They stopped producing videos and now run Austin's real estate. They're like real estate magnates.
That's
and they rent out all of Austin, Texas becomes gamer. It becomes the gamer city instead of a gamer house. Like people are streaming from their jobs at like the gamer grocery store with the gamer merch, all of its sponsorships. Like so all of the products
we become gamer nation.
Texas becomes the gamer state and switches to completely Democrat. It becomes like more blue than like California, like the entire West Coast combined. It's just a monster.
Hold on. You're saying two things that don't make sense.
Oh, you're
abuse
right. I
Oh,
forgot.
you gotta say the N-word in order
Gamers are racist. I
Right?
forgot.
I only joined this possible Let's Play channel to say slurs.
Just to yeah.
And
Just
get
as an
Stans to
outlet.
forgive me for saying slurs.
Yeah, and then we'll get a following that defends our every
Well,
move, no matter
okay.
how
And
bad
if
it
you-
may be.
A few episodes, we'll get Notch, Minecraft, and PewDiePie
Everyone,
on our
we'll get them
channel.
all.
We'll partner
Notch
with
Minecraft.
Keemstar, and he'll say the N-word 5 times.
Yep.
He might call Alex.
He might call
What?
me. Yeah, he might call me.
Yeah.
He might call me. Yeah.
No, that's the joke.
Oh, I see.
That was his context. That was his context for using the N-word. Just
Oh,
calling somebody out in chat.
okay.
I see.
I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to
Getting
get some.
before.
I'm excited to get this podcast off the ground and also to get some Let's Plays off the ground because this channel is going to be great because it's going to be a great way for me to get to play the 200 plus Steam video games that I have hoarded over the years and actually play some of them maybe.
Hey, we can start a series like Steam cleaning or something. Don't at me, Alpharad.
I have a
Don't at me. I'm cleaning.
I have a there's a website. I have it linked in my I think I only have it linked on my Twitch currently, and it's the Backloggery. It's where you can archive every single video game you own, and whether or not you've never touched them, you've never beaten them, you've beaten them, or you've completed them, or null if it's an endless a roguelike that never ends, but maybe you can say you've beaten it, or something like a universe simulator. The game where you just mess around with solar systems and stuff that has no end. It's just a sandbox. But the whole point of the Backloggery is you to keep track of your games and to stop having a backlog of video games. It's a good way to just have a big number. It's man, you have a lot of games you've never touched. Maybe you should play one of those, dude. Maybe you should not buy the new one and play the old one first. And it has an option called the fortune cookie. And what that is you can set up some filters so it you can be don't put the null games in here or don't put the finished and completed games in here. And it just rolls your entire catalog of games and just says play this one. And so it's a great way to just be all right, I'm going to play if you have a big physical and old game collection, it's also good because you could have garbage in there and shovelware. If I put my Wii collection, I could play The Sims 3 for the Nintendo Wii or My Sims Kingdom or Line Rider 2 for the Nintendo Wii, which I own.
Line Rider 2 on the Wii?
Line Rider got a sequel that wasn't a Flash game. That's a physical disc that I own.
Oh, wow.
That's wild.
It has voice acting. The Line Rider goes "we" in that one.
God, we have to play that.
I have a capture card. Although I have a capture card, my capture card does not have component cable input. I have to get I'd have to get some component cable HDMI adapter dongle or something to put it through. So I can't play anything from the Wii back. Unfortunately.
Can you put on a Wii U?
I could put on a Wii U. I could play Pikmin 3 and cry because I have to use the Nintendo gamepad and break my wrist.
Was my Dazzle.
You have a Dazzle. I have a Dazzle too, dude. Let's go.
No, I mean, Alex, can't the Wii U play Wii games?
Oh, you're smart. You have a brain unlike myself. It's a concave hole up here, you see. It's just a bunch of liquid sloshing around to emulate weight.
I have experience with setting up entertainment centers, so I think about that shit all the time.
Yeah, this is true. Actually, wait. No, never mind. I was thinking about how the Wii U has component cable abilities in the back, in case you don't have an HDMI cable, which was a nice option.
Hello? Okay, I'm back.
Tyler,
what year did the Wii U come out?
The Wii U came out in a weird time, I guess, because like
After
it
2007.
has component, you can use the Wii component cables for it. Like it's just the same wires, but also you can use an HDMI cable. But yeah, I have like I got my Wii U is very good and legit and has a bunch of completely legit software on it. They can run a bunch of completely legitimate games that I own. From the NES, from the NES to the Wii U, it can play them all because I have legitimate programs on there that I own and did not put on there through some sort of wacky backdoor.
It's just like how we have
Nintendo, don't listen to this one.
Photoshop and Sony Vegas.
No, well, hold on. I got Sony Vegas through Humble Bundle, so I did get that one for real. Before that, I did pirate Camtasia, which was
you didn't pirate it.
Oh boy.
I acquired that through mysterious sources. I don't have it anymore, Camtasia. If you still exist, sorry. I got rid of it after I bought Sony Vegas through Humble Bundle for like $20. But yeah, I think the best thing about this podcast is that once we do reach its limit, I am just gonna say that's it, and then I'm gonna surprise you all because it's been an hour. Hey, surprise! It's been an hour. This has been the podcast, fellas. It's a very natural and legitimate ending to it. So we
really did what we asked at the beginning and led to a natural conclusion.
Yeah, it's been a nice. Actually, you know what? I think I joked you all. It's only been 55 minutes. I joked. I fooled you. I forgot that we spent 5 minutes. Again, I said I purged the memory of the spoof intros. I purged them from my brain. That was an hour. That was 55 minutes ago. So we have an extra 5. But now you know what I'm going to do when I jump scare you all with the ending of the podcast.
just scream.
Hi! Don't do that.
Don't. I can't listen to like I was listening through another podcast, and a certain couple of two YouTuber goofballs like to sometimes just end their podcast screaming. Sometimes,
yeah, they do
when they feel like it, and it's really great nighttime falling asleep listening. It's really good. They did that on like 20 separate occasions. I remember I was at work and listening to podcasts, and they did a Halloween episode, and I remember that like when they were starting to wind down the episode, Ryan, I said his name, cat's out of the bag, it's Super Mega, but as soon as they were winding down for their like Halloween 2018 or 2019 podcast, Ryan just screams at the top of his lungs directly into the microphone without the pop filter, and I was at work and I literally almost like dropped what I was holding because it was so loud and not like edited in any way, and they're like, there's your jump scare, there's your happy Halloween.
You think you get used to that kind of thing since you also listen to like the Magnus archives?
Well, the thing is with the Magnus archives is I because of the way their audio peaks, because they record it with they add an effect to make it sound like it's a cassette tape player.
That
lo-fi charm. It has some audio peakage that I keep turned down pretty much, and I also don't listen to it at work. I usually listen to it at night, so I have my Bluetooth speakers turned down.
I actually listened to the Magnus archives completely in like a week.
That's very fast.
Oh yeah, so did I.
It took me like 2.
I listened to it in like 3 days.
It's it has to do with the fact that I work 12-hour shifts.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
I tried not listening to it at work because eventually when I listen to podcasts at work, I zone out and it's just noise that keep my brain occupied. And so like sometimes I'll zone back in and be like, oh, I missed like 10 minutes of a conversation, and that doesn't work for a 20-minute like episode of something with a narrative.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going for this, is something that you can put on while you drive that you don't have to pay attention to.
Yeah, we're just kind of gibbering.
About dumb shit anyway.
If you're listening to this, you're a silly fool, but also you're pretty cool, so keep listening.
Only reason we are alive.
If you listen to this,
make sure to donate to our Patreon
and our OnlyFans. Don't worry, it'll be good stuff. Don't worry, guys.
No, you know.
Email us at TheFableFew at
Gmail.
couplesonly.com.
Farmers only.
Or you can actually
Christian
email us
mingle.
at TheFableFew@gmail.com.
We don't have a Twitter yet, but
That's our
it'll probably
actual
just be the Fable Few, I imagine.
Send us questions.
You should
That'll be
probably
fun.
should
We'll put all of it in the
snag a
description.
Twitch page as well. Just have that under
I
the
can
belt.
go ahead and set those up.
Yeah, that'll be good things to set up, and we should do that before this ever touches anything. But
Of course.
but
Is
yeah,
that it?
that was a pretty good podcast, I have to say. I'd give that. I think at the end we should just give ourselves a numerical rating from 1 to 10. I'd give
Okay.
this a
This episode
solid
was a
7.
solid-
I get a
I was
solid
gonna
7.
say a 6.
Maybe a soft 6, hard 7.
All right,
6.9,
we'll
baby.
go ahead and give ourselves a pat on the back. You know. Yeah, all right.
I
Was
hit
that
the back
good?
of my chair.
Was that good audio, fellas?
I
Is
think
that
so.
some good audio I just did? I hurt my hands
think-
with how hard I clapped.
I just hurt my neck.
I think we're
We
done.
all just wounded ourselves at the end of this podcast.
I
Why'd we do that?
Hey, guys.
Okay, Lil's the only one that made it out of the podcast unhurt.
Lilith's not fucking committed, is one.
Yeah, you gotta.
I'm eating a mango.
Okay, it's got some citric acid. That hurts a little bit somewhere, just a tiny bit that
hurts
you
my
don't
tummy.
feel. Yeah, there you go. See, now we're all committed. That's all it
All right.
took. Somewhere,
End recording.
somewhere in here, we've just faded out into non-existence. That's how we're gonna end it. The
course.
conversation continues as we fade out.
So,
We don't end the
I'll go ahead.
podcast.
If you guys want, I'll go ahead and start editing this one.